If January felt messy instead of perfect, that's normal. Hey, I'm Sarah. I share simple, pressure free journaling and how I use it to organize my creative life in a realistic way. Today, I'm setting up my February pages, just two simple ones, a habit tracker and a focus page. Nothing fancy and nothing overwhelming, just something I'll actually come back to. January was actually really interesting for me. When I look back, I see that for some days I didn't even write anything, and some dates are completely empty. But I still used my habit tracker, and I did my weekly reviews every week. That part stayed consistent. If you haven't seen my other videos, make sure to check them to see how I do my weekly reviews every week. When I looked back at the month, I could actually see my patterns, what I showed up for, what I avoided, what worked for me, and what didn't. So, even when the pages were not that busy, the system was still working. That's what I loved about it. For the month of February, I'm tracking 6 habits. Not because I want to be strict, but because I want awareness. I want to see my patterns, not to judge them. I usually keep everything very minimal, but for this month, I'm letting myself decorate a little more than usual. I wanted this month to feel a bit more inviting, still simple, just a little more warm. For February, I'm not changing everything. I'm not creating a new system. I'm not trying to level up my life. I just want to move at the same pace, but with more calm, more intention, and less pressure. I want this to feel supportive, not demanding, and helpful, not heavy, something I return to, not something I avoid. If I write every day, that's great. If I don't, that's okay too. The consistency is in coming back, not in being perfect. That's what I learned from my month in January. I'm using my Tombow brush pen, number 761, and I was inspired by a February spread I saw from Pico Studio. She did a similar background and I loved how it felt. I wanted my tracker to feel exciting to open, not perfect, just inviting. And honestly, I am letting go of perfection here because every time I try to make a page perfect, I stop using it if I don't love it. So this month is about play, not pressure. This is just an experiment for February. I'll see how it feels and I'll decide next month. Minimal, more designs, or something new. Maybe I go back to minimal, maybe I explore more designs, maybe I try something completely different. So there's no rules here, just responding to what actually works. In January, I had a page with 4 focus areas, and honestly, it helped me more than I expected. It gave me direction with no pressure and something to look at each week. And I ask myself, where am I going with my creative work right now? So I'm keeping those same 4 for February because they work for me. They feel grounding and they give me structure without feeling heavy. And I'm adding one more. This is just for me, something personal, not as a rule, just as a reminder that I can look at it every day. Something I can touch base with each day and see how it's unfolding. This page is not about productivity, it's about presence and direction and staying connected to what actually matters to me. If you haven't watched them yet, I have other videos on my channel where I share how I set up my planner and how I do my weekly reviews. I use a very low pressure system Nothing is strict or perfect. Something you can always come back to, even if you skip days. If that kind of planning sounds helpful to you, you can check them out here on the screen.